The Gauteng Care Crisis Committee, which includes a large number of Gauteng-based NGOs, is now taking the Gauteng Social Development Department to court. They say the department has not said which groups it will fund. These groups have received funding from the department in the past. This year, the department said it was going to change the process. The groups say they've applied for the money, and most of them simply haven't received any response to their application. Last week, the Gauteng Premier, Lesufi, said he would intervene and make sure the groups got their money. Something very similar to this happened in almost exactly the same way last year. Aileen Langley is from the organisation Epilepsy SA, their Gauteng branch. She joins us now. Aileen, good afternoon to you. Why are you joining this court action? Why do you feel you have to take this step?
Thanks, Stephen. We are a residential facility that look after very vulnerable people. We've got 172 residents that are with us permanently. 70 of those are very frail and need 24-hour care. That means that someone has to bath them, feed them, dress them. They cannot look after themselves at all. Then we have a further beneficiaries who also come to our protective workshops. There's 162 of them. So we feed all those people every day. We are at a point now where we are nearly halfway through the first quarter of the year, and we have not been able to pay salaries at the end of April. Our staff are professionals, and I don't know how much longer I can actually ask them to come to work without pay. We are totally dependent on government to render these services. Of our annual budget, they cover about 65%. We have also received, just earlier today, notice that our electricity will be cut off. We do not have any funding in our accounts to pay those bills. This whole process has been very difficult and not transparent right from the start. And if we do not have staff to look after our residents, we are concerned that we would actually have another live esidimeni on our hands. We can only look after our residents and our other beneficiaries with funding from DSD.
Aileen, what happened when you applied for the money? I mean, you applied, as I presume you've done many times, to the Department of Social Development in Gauteng. What happened after that? Did you get a response?
So we prepared our business plans. We've got 4 different programs. We prepared our business plans. They were ready in October, and on the day that they were meant to be submitted, our regular regional official basically told us that she's only taking the progress reports and that she's been instructed not to take any business plans. She couldn't explain anything. The way that we found out that we have to reapply again was through a newspaper article in the Sowetan that gave us new procedures, new things that we had to attach that we never had to attach before for compliance. As well as a new format. That format was changed within a few days. So it's been very, very frustrating. Normally by December, you have your panel discussions where your board is also present. This year, we were not involved or called to any panels. Independent panel was appointed, of which we don't know anything about and how they came to their decisions. We started getting worried because normally during February and March, SLAs are signed and you know what you can expect. When we threatened with legal action from the disability sector specifically, we were called to the then HOD from the GDSD Ms. Matilda Casella, we were called to a meeting on the 5th of April. I think we were 8 organizations, and we were told that we would receive feedback whether our business plans have been accepted and receive our SLAs within a few days. Many organizations didn't receive anything. We received 2 by the next Friday evening, the 12th of April. They were exactly the same as the previous, and only in this last 2 weeks did we receive, for the other 2, we are not sure if those amounts are correct. We cannot get hold of anybody to explain anything to us. So, yeah, we are very concerned at this point. We are very grateful for the court order that we received yesterday. But in our case, it's a little too late. We're basically living from one day to the next.
Do you know if the department actually has the money? I mean, has it done something else with the money? Did they give it to someone else? Do you know if they have the money still to give you?
Well, there's a lot of assumptions made in this regard. Some people believe that they don't actually have the money. Other people believe that, you know, this is just a delaying tactic because they want to see what happens after the elections. To be honest, I don't think anybody knows. They've promised us, the Premier promised on 2 separate meetings on the 13th of May and the 14th of May, as well as a press release that from the 15th to the 24th of May, all SLAs will be finalized and organizations will receive their funding by the 24th. We are now on the 23rd, and to date, I know of no organization who's received any funding.
Okay, so the Premier, Panyaza Lesufi, made a promise, and for the moment, it's now 20 to 4, the day before. There's no indication that that promise will be met.
No.
Sure. Thank you very much indeed. Go on.
No, I just want to say that this is really a serious crisis. You know, this is not an institution that can just close. We have to be here for our residents and our beneficiaries.
Aileen, Langley, thank you from Epilepsy SA's Gauteng branch. I do appreciate the time. There are other organisations in the same problem as well. The moment we do hear from the Gauteng provincial government on that, and I know people have tried to get comment from them, we'll bring that to you.